I'm still gonna go on there, but guys will not be able to see. Sorry for my YouTube family. Sorry, can't see either. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in and taking time with me. Thank you for your patience while I got everything ready and together. Ate me a little light lunch. Um, and can you guys hear me? Thanks. Okay. You may not can't see me, but you can hear me, so that is great. Um, but thank you all for checking in. Thank you all for coming in. And today is, like I said, the word today is going to be all things work out. All things work out. And so, if anybody had a hectic day, if you had a hectic day, um, or if it was busy, if it wasn't promising like you thought, if it wasn't promising as you thought it would be, and then at the end of the day, it actually worked out. Um, Feel free to chime in, leave your comments, messages, and let me know if you felt like just like, hey, is this thing for me? Is I'm doing this right? Because I had some of those moments myself, and I know some of you all are still at work and finishing up, and hopefully I'm going to get back to. I'm busy. Don't get me wrong, I'm busy, but I'm actually going to be taking on another healthcare role, and that is going to help me, and it's going to help benefit the businesses, and it's going to help benefit the household. So I'm going to start soon working with a doctor, and so right now I've just been doing a lot of busy business stuff, and today was a little bit hectic because you guys, I'm actually still packing. Well, actually, I have everything set and ready to go, but I'm still packing some things because I'm getting ready to move to my house finally. That is a blessing. It's probably going to take some time to get things moved in, but it was just so hectic today. And I've got to finish more things tomorrow morning, but it was so hectic. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Karen, what are you doing? Have you ever just thought about, like, oh gosh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? And sometimes you got to just take a breather. Sometimes you got to just stop and just sit still. And I had to do that several times, you all, this morning. And I'm just grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my peers because my daughter was like, she just came up to me and she just started speaking those encouraging words, those words that I couldn't even get out of my mouth. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's hectic, it's tiring, it's frustrating, it's da 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 da. But then I begin to stop, pause, take a breather, take a deep breathe, take a deep breather in and out. I took a deep breath and I relaxed my muscles, relaxed my mind, and I began to speak positive things. So when we feel ourselves rushing and when we feel ourselves being getting frustrated, it's important to stop, unwind. I love this word, unwind. Stop, unwind, relax, take a deep breath, and be like, "Hey, I got this. This is gonna get done. This is going to get done. This is going to work out." And you start speaking those positive affirmations to yourself. You start speaking those positive things, and I just had peace the rest of the day. I've had peace throughout the day because you know what I said. There's a lot of things that we try to control and we just have to take our hands off of. And I'm gonna share something that I even said today, you all. I said this right here. I said, I'm taking my hands off of the situation. And me as a believer, I'm like, Lord, if this is meant for me or if that is meant for me, you will make it work for my good. Um, if it's not meant for me, and then that means that you've got something better on the other end. And as I took my hands off of it, and as I begin to just release and relax, unwind, and then take time to get my thoughts together, speak the things out of my mouth that I know that I need to speak. I wanted to make sure I use wisdom. I wanted to make sure that I was using the right decision. And as I shared before, you all, sometimes we're worrying about what's going on down the road, like what's going to happen from next month and month after that, month after that. No. We are in January. This is January the 18th. We are in January, you all. I'm going to say that again. We are in January. So therefore, everything that we want to transpire and we want to happen in this month, and I say it again, no matter how I was feeling earlier today, but I still had peace, even though, because I did the work. That's what I did, the work to release, relax, and unwind and be like, hey, wait a minute. Everything is already worked out. This is out of my control. I'm going to let things fall into place the way that it's supposed to fall into place. And it actually did. If I hadn't done that, if I didn't do that, and if I didn't say that, and then I would have been in an uproar. I would have been over my head. I would have been running around with my head cut off. I would have been speaking negative constantly. But I didn't do that. And that's why we want to stop doing that. We want to stop speaking negative. We want to speak positive things. If we said that this is our season, if we said this is our season of manifestation, and then we need to act like and know and just know without a doubt that this is our season of manifestation. That's what we need to know. That's what we need to keep in mind. That's what we need to keep reiterating to ourselves, that everything that is going to happen is going to happen on the right time. It's going to be on time. It's going to be for my good. And we want to make sure that we're ordering our steps. We want to make sure that we are being wise in our decision. And sometimes we may not think that we're making the wisest, but when we're scared to make a decision, sometimes, most of the times, I'm gonna just say this: most of the time, you're making a right decision, because most of the time we fear the unknown, and so we don't go and we don't step into it. And I shared that on season 1 on my podcast. I talked about it some more on season 2, but season 1 I talked about the fear of unknown. I talked about compromising, and we have to get a hold of being fearful. Fearful should not be in our category, but it happens. It happens in our lives, and we're like, wait a minute, I can't fear the unknown, because I'm fearing and I'm thinking, well, what if this, and what is going to happen down the road, or what if I do this, or what if let's get the what is out of there. Stop fearing the unknown. And I'm thankful and grateful that I thought about that podcast episode that I released on season 1. We have to stop fearing the unknown, and we have to release what we want to happen and the things that is going to transpire in our life in this month. We're not worried about the next day, for we know that tomorrow will take care of itself. We are going to be not worried. Let's change that word. We are going to be satisfied, and we're going to accept the decisions that we make on today. And when you do get to tomorrow, you'll have to accept the decisions, and you'll wake up with a new mindset. Just like today, you woke up with a new mindset. And whatever inspiration that you said to yourself, whatever encouragement you spoke to yourself, let everything flow. Let that happen. And when something does come your way, be like, wait a minute. Like I shared earlier about myself, let me step back. Let me take a pause. Let me take a breather. And wait a minute, let me just get my thoughts together, so I don't say the wrong things, so I don't react the wrong way, so I can make the decisions that I know that I need to make today. And everything is going to flow, and everything is going to work out. And if I need to pivot and change some things, or if I need to do something different, guess what? I can do that. I can have strategies already set to do the right thing. But embrace the things that you want to transpire in this month. Because if you've already said it in 2023, coming into 2024, if you already spoke it, let's not act different than what we said, because things can't manifest. As I was talking about manifestation last week, and I had to be reminded, even on what I spoke about manifestation. There was a reason why, I released those videos even on last week, because it was needed, not just for me, for everybody. And I had to be reminded about what I spoke about manifestation. I have to make sure that what I said and everything that I did in faith, every act of faith, I'm going to share that. I'm going to say that again. I know that my camera is off for some of you all, and on my wisdom family, but thank you for tuning in and listening. Just have my camera off because my camera is not acting a little funny. But I just want to share this: your act of faith will show up for you, because if we don't act in faith, if we don't walk it out, and then it cannot be manifested. I share that if we can't act in faith, it will not be manifested. And I don't care what darts get thrown at you. I don't care what things get thrown at you. You're going to pivot and you're going to have another strategy. I want us to not get so caught up in, I want us to not get so caught up in when things get thrown our way, because we are winners. Yes, things are gonna get thrown your way, but guess what? Those things that those darts and objects that get thrown your way, they're gonna miss. They may try to hit you, but it's gonna miss, because you're gonna keep moving. You're gonna keep moving every time things get thrown your way. You're gonna keep moving and moving in an act of faith, and that's the way that I want us to consider doing throughout the rest of this month. Throughout the rest of January, we're going to keep doing that. I don't care if it looks the same as 2023. Nope, that ain't it. Let's just say that again. Nope, that ain't it. Oh, they looked a little bit familiar. You know what? I'm not even looking back there. I'm not even going to speak it. I'm just going to keep moving in an act of faith. Every time, think about when somebody's playing baseball on the baseball field, and every time they hit that ball, they're running and moving. They're running and moving, and they're dodging and they're catching. Just think about that. And yes, Whispers in a Bottle podcast says that faith is a catalyst for resilience, and it is. I'm going to say that again, what she wrote. Faith is a catalyst for resilience, and faith does require work. If you do not work it, it will not get manifested. There were some things that I did in an act of faith, and guess what? Those things um, those things, oh hey Sonya, those things are worked out. Those things that I did in an act of faith, even though I was scared, as Sonya was talking about, faith requires work. Yeah, because we know faith without works is dead. But as those things were trying to get thrown, even whether I agree with some of those things, I agree with some of the things, I was like, yeah, that's true, but this is what's going to happen. I had to change it. I was like, yeah, that may be true, but this is what's going to happen, because I spoke this into existence and I acted out in faith. And so everything must have to, and everything must line up. So just know that all things is going to continue to keep working out as you keep acting out in faith, as you keep showing up positive. And like I said, when something starts coming your way, or you start seeing something that doesn't look um like it's like you said, or like it's supposed to, you be like, okay, let's pivot, let's take a breather, let's unwind, let's release, let's relax. Okay. And then, you know what, you just start speaking positive even more. You start saying, well, wait a minute, this is what I said, this is what I have done, so it has to line up. Because you can always go back to your words. Key point, guess what, I could look, just say your name and say, wait a minute. Just like I'm saying my name, Karen, you can always go back to that, because my work speaks for itself. I acted out in faith in that thing. So, oh, I know everything has got to line up. And I'm thankful and grateful to be talking to you all, to share that all things lined up. Because guess what? I'm not looking to the left or to the right. I'm not saying, well, what about February, March, April, May, June, and July? Or what if this don't work? Or what if that don't work? That's just like that's somebody that does not have no peace. That's somebody running around, and clearly they have no peace because they're in worry mode. And we don't want to be in that category. We don't want to be put over in that category in worry mode. So we've got to continue to still show up for our life, show up for our business, show up for our children, show up for our home, show up for our family, our peers. We want to pay it forward. We want to show them that, hey, The act of faith is real. The act of faith is true. And knowing that all things are going to line up. And when I say all things are going to line up, that means that whatever happens is going to happen for the good. But when you have acts of faith and you have things that you have shown up for, you have to say, wait a minute, I got something to show for it. I've done this, I've done that, I put that on the table. It's like saying your faith is a down payment. As I heard someone else's video, I think it was on Monday or Tuesday, your faith is your down payment. Your faith is your down payment. Your acts of faith is your down payment. And all you need is a little bit of it. All you need is a little bit of it. Your act of faith is going to show for itself. And you have to know that all things are going to line up. And I just thank God for all the peers. I thank God for the encouragement when I couldn't even encourage, but I even made myself. Sometimes you got to make yourself, you got to stir up your faith, and you got to be like, okay, faith, stir it up. Stir up of everything that was spoken. Stir up of everything that I have planted. Stir up of everything that I have said, because I know that everything is going to line up. It is going to line up. It's going to line up. And I hope this is encouraging someone, just as it is really, really, really grasping a hold to me, even on this afternoon, tonight, wherever you're tuning in from. It's grasping hold. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into um, saying, hey, whatever happens at the beginning of my day, in the beginning of my day, I'm going to speak positive. I'm going to ask for my steps to be ordered. I don't know what your declaration affirmation is, but you have to know without a doubt that whatever comes your way, keep moving. I'm going to say that. This is your Therapy Thursday on today. Whatever comes your way, keep moving, keep moving. Doesn't matter what anybody says, doesn't matter what anybody does, keep moving. Keep moving. Keep riding, because you are the winner. You are the winner. I'm gonna say that again. We are the winners. You are the winners. We all are the winners. But we gotta be in that game. We gotta stay in that game and show up to know that we've gotta get in the game. We've gotta play in the game so we can win. If we don't play in the game, if we don't show up for the game, and then guess what? We can't win. We can't win without that act of faith. So we got to know what we have to do. We got to know what we know we have to do. And so um, I just wanted to share that with you all. Any comments? I want to leave the floor open for any comments. You can request to come up on Wisdom, or you can leave your comments on LinkedIn and YouTube. But I wanted to share that with you all, and I love coming in with you all on Therapy Thursday, because it helps me, and I shared a little bit about my day and how I had to turn my motives around. And I'm pretty sure that there's been some things that maybe you've had to endure during the week, or even the past couple of weeks that you've had to endure, and that you've had to change, and you've had to pivot. Sonia says that it's the way you place things into your mindset. It will be a negative if you place it as a negative in your mind, or it will be a positive if you place it as a stepping stone in your pathway. I agree. I totally agree, Sonia. Um, as we were talking about the mindset before, and we always talk about the mindset. If it's negative, you're going to get a negative result. If it's positive, you're going to get a positive result. And so we got to make sure we speak. It's just like when someone says, if you keep speaking out of your mouth, and someone said this to me once before, if you keep saying that you don't have any money, or you don't think you're going to have this and that, or you'll say, well, hey, I don't have a way, or she said, whatever you say you don't have, if you keep saying it and keep speaking and speaking it, you're going to start wearing it, and you're going to start saying it. If you're saying, hey, I'm not sure if I'm going to have this or this and that, you can change your words around and say, well, wait a minute, let's see, let's change that. Change it and make it a positive. speak a positive mindset over instead of saying what you don't have and what you don't think you're gonna have. And so that's good, Sonya. I totally agree with that. I'm going to not going to jump off so I'm going to stay on a couple of minutes just in case anyone have any more comments or want to share. Sonya says it's just like you said the other week regarding law. Yep, exactly. We spoke about the law of attraction. Yep, on last week. I think it was last week, Sonya, or the other week. Yep, we spoke about that. It's about you watching your words. You watch. I mean, it's just like watching your movement gestures. Your body language speaks a lot, just like your words and whatever coming out of your mouth. Um, that's what it's going to be because you've already thought it. You're already thinking it. You know. So yeah, um, I hope that this therapy Thursday um, word for today really touched home. It really touched home for me, and this is something that we can never get tired of. We have to continue to be uh, diligent, careful. I want to say careful. Be very diligent in what we are speaking, what we're saying, and what we're doing. Um, it's just like as I released a couple of videos I think on yesterday, and I was sharing how how we have to be mindful of how we treat others and stuff. It's the same thing. If you don't want anybody to treat you that way, and then you shouldn't treat anybody else that way. And one of the videos that I released, I was talking. It was a spiritual word, a prophetic word, and I was talking about the way that we treat Christ, and I shared that, and it's the way that we share our sisters and brothers and other people and our family members. Is the way that. So, if you have not caught those videos, make sure that you go and check out those videos on the YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification, hit the like notification so people will know that it is good content, and that is a great channel. So make sure that if you're not subscribed, that you subscribe and make sure you like, so other people will know about it. So if you all do not have any more comments or questions for me, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for just coming in. And you, oh y'all, before I go, I was supposed to. I know it's been busy. I was supposed to do an episode. Uh, and I was supposed to do the first episode of 2024 on, I think it was the 6th or 7th. I did not get to do one. So I will be uploading an episode on the We Dream Fearless podcast before February. Um, so look out for that. If you have not checked out season 1, 2, or 3, please feel free to do so. We have wonderful professional um, leading women and men on the podcast. And of course, I've done episodes. Check out to get to know the podcast. We did change our name 3 times just so we can make sure that we were branding correctly. And now we're at We Dream Fearless Podcast. So make sure you check it out. And I hope you all have a great afternoon. And I hope you all have a great night. If you have any questions for me, feel free to message me or email me. Um, there is open enrollment still. I decided on yesterday to keep the discount going. Um, um, and I decided to do 2 discount promotions on the mentorship program and the coaching program. So open enrollment is still open. So if you want to know more, make sure you're visiting LinkedIn, and also make sure you email me or message me if you would like to know more about any of the coaching or mentorship, because the sale will not last long. So make sure that you check that out. And I will see you all on the next video. Thank you all so much for tuning in and sharing. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a blessed night.